So now let's go to the magical formula, which is, in my opinion, way better. Let's have a look at it. It's here. You don't have to understand it. It's just a tool. You can see it as a tool. You can copy it into a text file and then get it back whenever you need it. But it will kind of make your life a lot easier. So it has 3 arguments. This is the A1 thing. This is the ID you search. This II stands for the column. It's the kind of input column where the ID is. And the OO is output column where the volume is. Okay? Please realize that I already saved this file under a new day, because we're assuming we have a new day, and then I said Vlookup 1, and because it was the first attempt, and now I save it again under Vlookup 2, because we have the second attempt now, or the magical trick, and we will change the structure somehow, so it's better to have 2 versions, then we can go back to the other version. So this is the easy formula. It looks complicated, it is complicated, but you only have to know these 3 things. What's the ID? Where do I find it? Where is the value? Nothing more. So I copied it into the clipboard. I go back to my Vlookup thing, and I decided to do them together, you know, the old one and the new one. So I call this column old and this column new. Then I go into this cell, I copy the whole formula. Again, you know, you have it in a text file, Evernote, something like that. You get it and then you use it like a tool. So A1, I replace that by the ID. Then I go now with the cursor into this II input. I'll delete it because it serves as a placeholder. And now I can go into this IT systems and add here the whole column where the ID is. So the input is this. Then I go into this output thing. I delete this OO and I replace it by the whole column here. And now I hit enter. Okay, so we go from A to G. We go from input to output, A to G. Search in A, give the value in G. Now I hit enter and boom, 108,000. That was what we had here. Okay. We searched B6 in the other sheet, column A, give back value in column G. And now it's really cool. I can drag it down and it works because the whole context is the whole column, and the whole column, the reference cannot go deeper. So this is really the first advantage, which you usually don't have in the Vlookup, right? But I have to say, one of these 5 disadvantages, this is not really valid anymore, because I realized that at least in my Excel version, you don't have to say A5 to whatever 6,000 or 9,000. You can also type A to H. So at least this disadvantage is gone now. You don't have to deal with these references anymore if your Excel version supports that. Okay, but that was not the main problem. That was a problem, but it was not the main problem. The main problem was if you, for example, if I delete this empty line now, the old Vlookup gives a completely different value now. I guess this is still the numbers. You know, it was formatted as a date, but let's forget about it. So now you have the same thing, right? The same result. And if I add a new column now, for example, I don't know, subtype or so, whatever that is. now the new formula still works because it's now from A to G, and before it was from A to whatever, right? From A to F or so. And this old VLOOKUP formula doesn't work anymore because it's still 6. It's the fixed 6. That's the biggest disadvantage. The second disadvantage was, or the second biggest disadvantage was, you can, with VLOOKUP, you can only go from left to right. Here I can even, now using it, I can even move the whole ID column somewhere else. I cut the whole column. I go, for example, here, and then I paste it. I paste the whole column, so the whole structure is destroyed. The old VLOOKUP doesn't work at all. It's impossible to go from right to left. And the new formula doesn't have any problem with that because it realized that, and it says I don't go from A to G, I go now from L to G. So even if you take into consideration that this is not a problem anymore with the A3 or A5 to A9999, and if you forget the dollar signs, it's a big disadvantage that if you add or delete a column, so if you change the structure, the old VLOOKUP is broken. You have to do everything again, and if you're working a lot with VLOOKUP, that's a real problem. And the second thing is you cannot go from right to left. So I can really ask you, please try this formula out. You will absolutely love it, and there's no reason to use VLOOKUP again in future.